Hello, hello. Welcome to Chopping It Up with Love. I am your host, Love Raynell, and today I have with me um, Coach Shawn Tucker,
Correct.
head coach of Cambridge South Dorchester Vikings high school boys basketball team. Coach Tucker and his Vikings are this year's winners of the Bayside Championship and the runners up in the 2024 Class 1A Maryland State Final Championship.
Correct.
Thanks for crossing the bridge
Thank you.
to get here to be with us.
It was a nice trip, but it's
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Thank you. And right here we have Coach Darnell Dantzler, head coach the of Edmondson-Westside of the Edmondson-Westside Red Storm High School boys basketball team, and this year's and last year's winner of the 2024 Class 1A Maryland State Finals. Coach Dantzler was also named Baltimore City's Male Coach of the Year for 2024.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Congrats. Congrats.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Did I leave out anything?
Well, back-to-back regional champions.
Hey, okay, back to back. So you got back to back regionals
Back-to-back.
and you got back to back state.
Back-to-back regionals,
Okay.
back-to-back states, and we won the city championship this year as well.
Okay, so what's the name of your regional?
We were the North,
Yeah.
the 1A North.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks. Well, I'll write it down later. So, give us a little background and insight on you, Coach Tucker. Like, what got you? I have an exit question. What got you to where you are now as far as coaching?
Mhm.
Was it a lifelong goal or was it an opportunity that just happened to fall into your lap?
Great question to start off with. Either I was going to go pro
Mhm.
or I was going to be a coach, but obviously, you see, I didn't go pro.
Mhm.
So coaching, I knew at an early age that I was going to coach because even in the huddles or timeouts, coach would call a play, draw up a
Mhm.
play, or do something, and we'd walk on the court, and one of my guys would be like, "What did he say?" And I'm
Mhm.
just like, "Jesus, just go in the corner and stand there and wait for me to get you the ball." And so I knew I was going to be a coach.
Mhm.
I'm teetering around the 2 decades,
Mhm.
of coaching. This is my second year at Cambridge South Dorchester.
Okay.
I come from Division III, Salisbury University, where I
Mhm.
coached there. Had two stints for 2 years each time. Been a JV coach for like almost 15 years. So
Wow.
I knew that I was going to coach. I wanted to coach. Wanted to be a head coach. Coach is in my blood. I mean, they're gonna have to wheel me off the court
Mhm.
to get me off this court. So it's exciting. It's our second year. Cambridge has a really a really good football program. So a lot of those guys play basketball. So we're just trying to trend in the right direction and put the Eastern Shore on the map. Obviously, you've
Mhm.
had the Decaters and the Y-Highs for years that are playing, but we make some noise in the 1A, so we're gonna continue that.
Okay. And same question for you.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of like the old head of the group. I've been coaching for like 25 years.
Mhm.
I started coaching when I was younger. My old rec ball coach by the name Bucky Lee at Oliver Recreation Center.
Mhm.
He told me eventually you're going to be a coach. So I guess he saw something in me that I didn't see for myself. But I've been coaching 25 years. I was the assistant coach at my alma mater, Dunbar, for about 7 years.
Mhm.
And then I started running my own program over Emerson. So I've been over Emerson for 18 years now.
Wow. So 15 for you and
25.
5 for me. Okay. Hmm. That's good. That's good. So let's get right into the game.
Mm. Let's go.
I call it the meat and potatoes. All right. Okay. So there was a lot of back and forth
Mm,
because I watched the video like about 5 or 6 times.
mm,
All right. And once I watched it with no sound. All right. It made a lot of sense to me at the time. So there was a lot of back and forth. I think you guys were tied up 47-47.
at the end of the third quarter.
Okay. All right. I got that. Okay, great, great. And so I was right. So this is for you.
Mm.
The game clock was at 19.9 seconds. The Red Storms up 66-60.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of
Okay.
anticipation. I'm trying to.
What was the atmosphere like in the arena? Because you played at College Park, right?
Right.
Right. It was. I don't know, Coach. You could probably speak on this later. It was a little different. It was we could hear the crowd, but because I think previously they said there was a wrestling tournament, so the
Right.
bleachers that were behind this, they didn't pull the bleachers all the way out, so we could hear the crowd, but we couldn't hear the crowd But at the end of that third quarter, when we tied it up. One of my guys, he drove great pass, drew the defense, kicked it, and we scored. And that's when you can hear the emotions of the crowd. I mean, we had a large contingency of fans that drove from the Eastern Shore, not just Cambridge fans, but the whole Eastern Shore. That place was rocking. I think it would have been a little different. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. If the bleachers were
Closer.
a little closer, because
So I noticed
it
that
would
in
have
the video.
made.
So that's why I was like that. I
Yeah.
was wondering, so they were far back.
Yeah, they were far back. So,
Okay.
initially, I just think that the emotions in the arena kind of took us off guard. I mean, we had prep. We played in the Governor's Challenge during Christmas time. We played on a college court. We played at Chesapeake College, so we were accustomed to playing on that court. It was just, those one of those things. We're in the state championship, and the nerves are running wild, and expectation levels were high. So we kind of got behind. Coach did a great job game planning, pressuring us, making us do some things that were uncharacteristic. So once we settled down, and kind of the crowd, and I'm kind of that coach that. I believe in, going to the last buzzer.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wasn't going to give up no matter what I've been down 20 points in some games, and, you just keep fighting, especially with a three-pointer.
Yeah.
Now the game has changed. So, you can get back in the game. That's 3 possessions. You can get back in the game. And like I said, Coach had a great game plan. He pressured our guard. I mean, obviously we had an elite guard, in my opinion. LaShawn Moody, who just carried us. I mean, this guy's just relentless in his hustle. Coach has a couple guards on his side too, so I think the pressure, was got. I mean, I saw both teams just going at it. So we just had to settle down in the atmosphere. I mean, you could hear the crowd, and the crowd were in it, and it was just those timeouts you could kind of feel it. But other than that, in the game, they didn't really bother me. I don't know about Coach.
Well, you are absolutely right. The with the way the crowd was moved back some. It kind of took the normal effect of how it normally is playing down there. But it was such a good game. The kids, they left it all out on the floor, both teams.
Yeah.
The point guard, what you said?
LaShawn Moody.
LaShawn Moody, he played extremely well. All of them played really well. So my whole thing was just to try to basketball is about making adjustments. So you got to make adjustments on the fly. Coach made a bunch of different adjustments. And then even when we went up, they didn't give up. They kept fighting. I think we went up like 9 points, and then they came right back, and they made their run. And that's what I told the kids, they had to settle down, because basketball is all about adjustments and making runs. We made our run. They made their run. We were just happy, just fortunate to come out on top after it all. But like I told them in my press conference, my hat really goes off to all those guys, because they played and they left it all on the floor. And that's the only thing you can ask for, win or lose.
Yeah, especially in sports. Okay, another question. Knowing this was, well, you kind of answered it, but I'm going to still put it out there.
Okay.
No, it's about pressure. Knowing this was the Vikings' first time playing for the chip since 1996, a 28-year drought, and you got the team to this point, to that point, with y'all trailing 66-60 with 19.9 seconds left. What are you feeling? What were your emotions? And you just spoke on it.
I was hoping I was going to get a call from the referees, but that didn't happen. But, our motto all year was you got to believe. And that's anything. You got to believe. Just believe in yourself. I think we were prepared. I think my experience at the college level really helped me settle them down, and got these guys just to believe and just to play within themselves and just be confident. I think a lot of times, players get rattled, coaches get rattled. They see you. They're an extension of you. So you got to remain calm. Obviously, I'm a passionate coach, and I was on that sideline, working their officials, working the sideline. But at the same time, they get me. Yeah. They understand that, I care for them. I care about their well-being. And no score is going to define my guys.
Right.
And I said that in the presser.
You did.
And I just think that at that time, pressure pressure is what you make it. You know, pressure can bust pipes, or pressure can also create diamonds.
Sure can.
And I think, you know, coaches obviously, you know,
Mhm.
experiencing, you know, two state championships is extremely, it's a lot of pressure. Winning one is a lot of pressure. Winning two is even more pressure. You just got to remain calm and just do what you do and stick to, you know, I'm prepared. I understand. I do a lot of it in practice. Late second, shot clock plays, blobs, slobs, out of bounds, you know, just different things, running sets. I thought we did some good things. We came off some curls, some pin downs, and some things. And coach, he blitzed it a couple of times, and so we just had to keep making adjustments. Like coach said, you just make adjustments, and we figure it out. And with those 19 seconds, we're down 6, and there was a turnover. We didn't get a chance to shoot the ball. I had a play drawn up where we're gonna drive it, try to get downhill and get to the basket. If big man Chase stepped up, then we're gonna kick it to the corner. Had a guy waiting, but we didn't get there. It's unfortunate, but that's why you play this game. You never know how it's going to play. I mean, obviously, it was a tremendous opportunity for just the Eastern Shore to see those guys. I mean, you know, and I'm sure Coach experiences that a lot with inner city kids. Man, it's tough coaching inner city kids. Man, you got so many negative things going against you, but we just try to change the narrative, and that's what I say. You know, you got to believe. Why not us? You know, why not us be here?
Exactly.
And the kids, if you saw them get off the bus, you saw them walk, they weren't fazed, you know, by, you know, any of that. We just wanted to compete and wanted to play.
Wow, it was a great game.
Yes, it was.
It was a great game. Now let me set it up for you. Coach D,
Yep.
with 9.1 seconds left on the game clock, Red Storms up 68-63. With the Vikings fighting hard as they had been all game. And we all know a couple of threes, which you just spoke on, would have put them on top.
Right.
What were your emotions like? Were you, I mean, you were just here last year. You know, the same spot last year.
Right.
So I'm sure you're accustomed to it. But I didn't see the game last year.
Okay.
All right, so I can't really speak on it. Was it a close game like this year?
Yeah, it was close.
Okay, so you can, so tell me about it.
Well, the thing about it, one of the things with me with experience, like I said, I've been at Edmondson for 18 years. I've actually played in a state championship game 7 times.
Okay.
So we have 4 state championships. So I went back to back 2 times, winning it this year. So, just like Coach said, part of it is I can't overreact because if I overreact, then the kid's going to overreact.
They feed off you
overreact.
guys.
They feed off of us emotionally. So we got to stay calm at all times, no matter what goes on. Even if some calls not going our way or whatever's going on, we have to stay composed at all times.
How can y'all do that?
It's tough.
As a spectator, I'm like, what's that?
It's tough, but you have to, because if you go off the deep end, or if you that's you only as good. I always say you're only as good as your coaching staff.
Okay.
So my younger brother, he's been with me for my entire 18 years of coaching over Edmondson. So we all are battle tested. And then when you play in Baltimore City basketball, the normal grind of the Baltimore City, playing Baltimore City basketball, it prepares you. It prepares you for the state. But just like Coach said, dealing with the inner city kids, people only see game day. They don't understand everything that goes on, and I can give you some stories that'll probably having you pulling your hair out when it's come to some of the stuff that we deal with the inner city kids. But the thing about it, giving them a goal and giving them a focus and just giving them a sense of direction for them to improve. I always say my job as a coach is to remove obstacles out of the kids' way to help them to succeed. And like I said, with the last 9 seconds, my whole thing is it's a possession basketball. So we got to make sure we guard the 3-point line, because like Coach said, he had a 3. It's a 1 possession game. So we just try to stay poised at all times, try to play as much defense, and then we try to make sure if they took a shot, they rush a shot or whatever, and we had to make sure we get the rebound.
Okay.
So I got to stay calm. Even I can't show any type of remorse until it says 0.
So you had a guy that was shooting 3-pointers.
Yeah, I had a couple guys.
I didn't. Well, oh man.
We had Sterling Perkins, we had Samaj Pender, and one of my rotation players.
It had to be Sterling.
Sterling.
Because I didn't have his name.
Sterling Perkins.
Okay, that's who it was. Yeah, he shot a couple, right? towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I was referring to when I wrote this. Okay, so y'all guarded him great.
Well, we didn't guard him great
at
because
the
he,
end,
yeah, and that's the thing that, well, like I said, the thing about it, you never know who's going to step up or who's going to hit big shots because people hit shots sometimes when you when you least expect it. So, but like I said, when we went up and they came back hitting shots, I said, well, now we got to play everyone.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's going to come in, and like I said, Coach and I are not familiar with each other teams. Even though I know I'm sure he scouted my team and I scouted his team, but it could have been a JV kid that came off the bench or someone, a specialist that come in and just to shoot the basketball. I mean, it's so much goes on with game planning, and you got players that do certain things, and then when you playing off that emotion, you just got to try to weather the storm, and hopefully you can come out with a win.
Yeah, and my game plan was, obviously we can talk about it now.
Yeah,
but take his son. His son's a great player.
Yeah.
Take his son out of the ball. He's shifty. We wanted to get him uncomfortable. I was like, watch several games and even watch some last year's games, and I'm just thinking like, how are we going to play him? Are we going to let him shoot and he kill us? Or are we going to let him drive and make passes? And then we were focused on, they're big. He's obviously size. We didn't have the size of matchup to him. I just want to be physical.
Yeah.
And I think Kobe Innes played him really well. He had 4 points in the first half. Chase did. And the second half, he got off because Kobe had obviously was foul trouble. We had to throw some other guys on him. But that's what good players do. They figure it out. Coaches make adjustments. But game plan was like, just let's let Dantzler make some plays, and then we just got to let the other guys, try not to beat us. But we didn't want them to, Dantzler or Chase, to beat us. So, obviously he played a great game, man. Just finding he made the right play every time. I just, a couple times I was like, man, just make one wrong play and we'll capitalize off it. But
did he?
that's what good players do. He found it, and some rotation players that Coach said came off. He, his seventh and eighth guy hit some threes, just like the one right before halftime. It's Sean Moody gets fouled. We hit 2 free throws. We're down 3, down 4, and come back and they hit a 3 at the halftime, and that momentum it swings the game. We end up losing by 4 points. That 3, take away that 3, it's another ball game. At the end of the game. So those are the little things I try to get my players to understand. You try not to harp on that. I mean, that was a huge shot. You hit a 3, momentum, but momentum is crucial in this game.
It is. I see.
And like I said, just like what Coach said, DJ has been getting that pressure all year. He's been being my son. The one thing I like about him is he wanted to make his own name for himself. So he don't even like to be called Darnell. He likes to be called DJ. He wants his own identity, and I'm fine with it. But he's been getting double teamed and pressured all year. And like I told him, sometimes you might score 20, 25, but sometimes you may only have 10 points, but you need to get your assist up. So he was an All-Metro player last year, and then he was first team All-Metro again this year. So I'm just happy that he did everything he was supposed to do, and then Chase played well. Like you said, your big kid really was physical with him early. So, I gave him a good talking to at halftime. And then I told him I was coming to him like the first 5 plays of the second half. I got to come to you. We rode you all season, big fella. And
he hits a tween pull-up jump shot for a 6'10" kid.
What is it called?
He went between the legs twice.
Oh, okay.
And he pulls up. What do you guard? You can't guard that.
Right, and that's the thing. Me as a coach, I pretty much try to let them do their thing. And Chase is an exceptional talent. For him to be 6'9", 6'10", he's only in the 10th grade, and to have him being multi-dimensional, that he can shoot the ball, put the ball on the floor, post up as well. But like I told him, I was coming to you. The first 5 plays to start the second half, you got to get us going, and he got us going, and we all fed off of him. DJ pretty much maintained, kept everybody focused. Kyrie, one of my seniors, that's the one who hit the 3-pointer going into the halftime. Okay. Once he hit that 3, he settled them down, like you said, Coach. It was a big momentum shot when he hit it, and that's what it was when we went to halftime. Try to make some adjustments and try to come back out and play hard. So
that leads me right into the next topic. The key players. So one of the videos that I watched, you have a starting 5.
Right.
Okay. So I'm familiarizing myself with basketball.
Okay.
All right.
You don't go so.
We're gonna help you through.
Okay. All right. Good. So key players for the Red Storm. Senior Josiah Brown.
Josiah Brown. Yep.
Guard. Junior Darnell Dantzler.
Yes.
He's a guard.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ. Sophomore Chase Foster.
Yes.
Before we just spoke on him.
Yes.
Senior Malachi Coles.
Makai Cole.
Oh, Makai. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guard. And then
Yeah.
senior Kyrie Sherrod.
Kyrie Sherrod.
Okay, he's a guard. So give me a little bit of info about the guys, about their study habits, their game, their commitment to the game, to their insight on just life.
The one thing I'm happy about that starting five, well, even throughout the school, I had the highest GPA in the school. So 4 or 5 of those starters all have at least a 4.0 GPA.
Okay.
And Chase has a 3.5. So DJ has a 4.0, Kyrie a 4.0, Josiah 4.1, and then Makai finished with a 4.3.
You said Chase had a what?
Chase had a 3.5.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 4.5. I was about to say, like, what?
No, Chase has a 3.5. So I'm more proud of them of what they do in the classroom and what I always tell them, they're student athletes first. But like I said, just they remarkable, relentless. They played together. They got down in some games all year, and they were all battle tested because they were so used to playing with each other. And then my guard Xavier came off the bench to hit a couple of threes as well. So of course I always call him the 6th man of the year. As soon as things ain't going right, I know I got to go to him and play him. But like I said, I'm so happy that from what they accomplished in the classroom. And like I said, and then I had the 3 seniors.
Yeah.
All 3 of them are going to college.
Okay.
So and that's when I feel as though as a coach that everything is done. You've done your job. Makai had numerous scholarships. He had over 20. He been accepted over 20 schools, but he chose Bowie State.
Okay, that's close.
Kyrie is actually took an internship with BG&E. So he's going to be going straight out of high school to work with BG&E, and he's going to Morgan. So he's already set. And then Josiah is going to be signed with a Division II school up in Pennsylvania. So my job is done, and just to see all of them go away and go to school. And then right now, DJ with his 4.0, he's been recruited by a lot of the Ivy League schools, and he even got an offer to go down to visit Morehouse, to go down there for that school as well. So
he's a junior.
He's a junior, and Chase is only a sophomore. But Chase is the one. He's already had an offer for the University of Maryland, Florida State. So he's already got a bunch of big Division I offers already. He's only in the 10th grade.
Wow. Okay. So, on to you.
It's a great question. This year, one of my important things was not have a student fail off, and we didn't have one student athlete fail off.
That's good.
So that's always tough to try to get them back in the mix when they fail off. So that was my goal.
Wait, let me introduce your starting 5 first.
Okay.
Senior LaShawn Moody, he's a guard. Junior Kobe Enos, a forward. Senior Samaji Pender,
sophomore.
Junior Anthony Hughes, and sophomore Thomas Wilson.
Yes.
Okay. And what was the other guy that shot the 3-pointers?
Sterling was our 6th man. Sterling Perkins, and Darren Belazar came off the bench.
Okay.
As well.
All right. Okay, then you can.
It's good. With academics, it's going to be the key for you. Basketball is only going to take you so far. Don't let that basketball use you. Those are the things that I preach. Academics. So it's important for nobody to fail off. Obviously, I want the GPA to be higher than what it was, but for the most part, LaShawn carries he's like a 3.5. We had 2 seniors, and one senior he's going in. He didn't play Isaiah Wilcox, but he was kind of he got our teammate of the year award. He knew he wasn't going to play a lot of games, but just being on the bench and being a support, a peer supporter, I think that was huge for those guys.
Why didn't he play?
He just didn't find the rotation minutes.
Okay.
Just one of those things. He's one of those guys that we need you on that bench. Picking those guys up because I'm going in on those guys. And you need somebody positive.
Okay.
To, hey guys, this is what he really saying. So it was a tough game. We couldn't. We got our starters and we have our rotation players, and if we can steal some minutes for those guys outside of that role, we can. But obviously that game didn't allow us to do that. But he's going to go in the workforce. He's graduating this year. He went to our tech program, so he's going to be doing well. And Sean is about to sign with a junior college on the shore, so he's really well. He still wants to develop a little bit more, get stronger, bigger, faster, those things like that. But he's going to do well because he's academically he's really strong, and that's what carried us all year. He was a kid that transferred in this year, so I knew about him and played against
Moody?
him. Yeah, Moody.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He transferred in this year, so I had 1 year with him. But the kid is a winner, and he's a leader. You know, those guys. He wouldn't let those guys get down. He just, one of those guys that pick your chin up when things aren't going right. But he just the motor. I've never seen nobody's motor like this kid. He got it blocked. Kid blocked his shot, and before some kids would hang their head and just be dejected. Shawn sprints back down, steals the ball, turns around, drives it back down the other end. I'm just like, dude, do you ever get tired? But
No.
that's just a testament to their families. It's just these kids. There's so many narratives about African American young men that all they do is focus on basketball. But in reality, they're really smart kids. They'll figure this thing out. We just have to guide them to where they need to be, and I'm proud. Like I said, I feel coach. My job is done with those two seniors. Moving on to the next class. We got a good class coming in. We lost two. Everybody's coming back, so they're familiar with the program. They're gonna be familiar with just the process. It's a long process starting in October to finish in March, and just those playoff games just come back to back. And
so when do you start? I don't want to say recruiting, but do you recruit?
no, we don't recruit.
You just
No,
just
we
the
don't
next
recruit
man
at
up. So people so it's like the kids that are in the school.
We like to call it a feeder system. So
Okay.
that's a better term for it. So we have our JV kids, and I really spend time with the JV, and I really push my coaches on JV to develop those guys, because those are gonna be the guys. And move. You as coach would know, you kind of move guys up. I moved 3 sophomores up. Normally sophomores would be probably playing JV, but those guys can play.
Okay.
So, having them opportunities to get, battle tested. So next year, as juniors, they're going to be ready for, some big time games, and they just don't get rattled. So those are the things that we like to do. But just, I call it A before B, academics before basketball. You got to focus on this. And once you lock in there, the basketball thing will be easier. And obviously, as you go to the next level, you're going to have to learn plays and just different things. So academics do play a part. So it's just a lot of information.
It's intense, especially playbooks.
Yeah.
It's all sounds so familiar to football. Terminology y'all use. I'm like, oh my God, it's like football.
Yeah, well, the one thing, just like Coach said, my JV, my younger brother Terrell is my JV basketball coach, and he has won 7 of the last 10 JV championships. So it's pretty much the system that we have. And like Coach said, I did the exact same thing. I brought up 3 of you reward them at the end of the year to bringing up 3 of your JV players to put them on a varsity team. Some may play and some may not play, but they can get that experience of just being there, being out there. And like Coach said, even my JV guys, they played in every game in the playoffs except the championship game, because we know how important the championship game was. But they're now battle tested, and when the season starts next year, they'll come in ready to play.
So JV is like the minor leagues in baseball. They move up.
It's different in baseball. I mean, it's just so many different levels, but you got your single A, double A, triple A. But I mean, in a sense,
right?
Thank you.
It is. In a sense, it is.
Don't leave me out.
You want to, and a lot of times, coaches focus on just teams. You gotta build a program, and that's what the goal was, building a program. And obviously, big ups to coach. He's done a great job of building the program, and he knows the program just doesn't start with the players. You got to get the teachers on board. Right. You got to get administration on board. You got to get the parents on board.
The parents.
You got to get the community on board.
Exactly.
It's so many different. You got to get the little sister at home that babysit when he needs to be at practice. But it's so many factors that go into this, and that's my thing. I kind of hang my hat on just building a program. If anybody asks me, what is it about your team? It's not a team, it's a program. And we just want to feed the next group of, we've already went over to the middle school and identified the 8th graders that are coming to a high school. And
so that's scouting.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say, get my eyes on those guys before, time, but you don't know who you're going to get. But obviously we got a couple of pieces that can move into positions and see who those guys on JV that are ready to move up. Obviously with a team, we're returning a lot of, turners, there's not a lot of spots, so it's going to be some battles in those practices or those tryouts for you to try to earn this spot, because I feel like even though those guys who played last year, you still got to earn your spot next year. This is a program.
So when do tryouts start?
The official practice is November the 15th. And that's statewide for us, November the 15th. But we also have them playing. I have my kids playing a bunch of summer leagues, bunch of fall leagues that they have, open gym and stuff like that. So To be honest with you, like I said, a lot of people, they just see game day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize it's a 365
Yeah, that's
day
what I'm
process.
hearing. Like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Okay.
Yeah, because you got to stay on them for AAU and the summer leagues and then the fall leagues and stuff like that. And that's the only way you're gonna get better. You have to continuously play. You got to continuously push the guys.
Mm-hmm.
They playing all year round. So like I said, a lot of people, they just see game day.
Mm-hmm.
But the first official practice is November the 15th, and like Coach said, we go from November the 15th all the way to March.
Right.
And the
6 days, 6 days a week.
6 days a week, the time and effort that we put away from our families. It was just fortunate that DJ wanted to come up Emerson and play with me, because when he was younger, I wasn't seeing him until I get home sometimes, because I'm dealing with these kids, with these student athletes, like Coach said, 6 days a week, because we practice every day except Sunday.
Yeah.
And with AAU, it's like the kids, they're doing it all year.
Exactly.
Yeah, and AAU's pushing the timeline. It used to be you get like a little break after the season. They're pushing the timeline up and up and up. So I got 5 guys playing AAU right now. We're entering in a summer league, and we also got an invitation from. There's a league up here for a live period that we're possibly going to play in. So it's a lot, but
a live period.
Yes, well, when the coaches Division II and Division I coaches can actually get an opportunity to see the kids play live.
Gotcha.
So they have a dead parent and live period when they can't touch the kid, talk to the kid, things like that. So, yeah, it's a lot.
business.
But and as coach, we sacrifice so much. Sometimes at the end of the season, I had to run and grab my daughter and my son and just mix them up. And my son's now playing AU basketball, so I'm dragging her to the games. I'm like, this ain't, we just time management is key for us. I know Coach would attest to that. Just so much time we dedicate. But I'm like myself, and I know like Coach, it's in our blood. We're going to be coaches. So obviously anybody who's in our inner circle going to know that, we're going to coach. So if anywhere you want to find us, we're either going to be at a gym, we're going to be at a tournament, or we're going to be chasing some kid down to get him to practice or something.
Yep. But it's all worth it.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I could talk about a conversation. Okay, so let's talk about the sponsorships. Do you have team sponsors, or how does that work?
We're still figuring it out. It's a touchy thing. Obviously we don't want to interfere with any of our kids recruiting, but they're becoming a little bit lean. But we do have local businesses.
Okay, yeah.
And anonymous donors that do, and it was amazing at the end of our season. Like we didn't have to worry about dinner. We had dinner for the last month. Dinner we had dinner provided for, because we practiced late, and dinner provided for us. The company stepped up. We had T-shirts. We had coach buses. I'm like, this is the dream. All you got to do is win, and you get things like this. But we got sponsored, and we're looking to do it. We're looking to have more opportunities for businesses. Obviously, you get your name recognized. We were on TV all the time, so it's a great marketing tool for a business to to kind of get on board. So those are some things that we're exploring, especially with the guys who are graduating, moving on to college. They're going to need to understand about NIL and your brand, and just being who you are. And obviously in the city it's a little different, because you guys are getting a little bit more exposure. On the shore, I got to get busy and create those opportunities. That's why I'm here today, to just create opportunities where we get an opportunity to be seen, and that's all those sponsorships are. They just want to be seen, and they'll give you a couple of dollars. You just gotta, it's gotta be a partnership.
So anybody can sponsor.
Yeah, it's the process you gotta go. Yeah, it's the process you gotta go through, paperwork, and then it's gotta donate it to the school and things like that.
So they reach out to the school.
Okay.
What about you? You have sponsors?
Well, pretty much the same thing. Under Armour has been a big sponsor for Baltimore City sports. They redid all of our basketball gyms, so that's a big help. And they outfitted the entire varsity sports programs with Under Armour jerseys, with Under Armour uniforms. So Kevin Plank has been really instrumental in reaching out and giving back to Baltimore City. Like I said, he's redone all the courts in all the high schools in Baltimore City. So Under Armour is our real big sponsor, who really looks out for us a lot.
So Under Armour provided you with the shoes they had on?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they were nice.
I'm working towards that.
Oh yeah. We're gonna try to make it work. Yeah, they were really nice shoes.
Well,
they were red and
red, red, black, and yellow.
Yeah, I have a screenshot. You can send me the information on those. The tennis shoes have become my favorite. They're so comfortable. Okay. And so please let everyone know where they can follow you or find you on social media. Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
Facebook, Shawn Tucker, ShawnTucker. Coach Tucker on Instagram, and not Twitter anymore. It's X. So you can Coach Shawn Tucker. You can find me on Instagram or X. So that's how you can find me.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on Facebook. Darnell Dantzler, and I'm kind of older, so I really don't mess with the Instagram. DJs getting me caught up on all the type of stuff. So I'm Coach Dantzler 400 on Instagram.
Okay.
So.
And any final words? Anything y'all want to say?
I appreciate this opportunity coming up here, and Coach, you're going to talk offline, and we need to set something up where we do some city versus country action, where we play like some home and away stuff, outside, maybe scrimmage, not anything, major. Obviously we play each other, during the year possibly, and just come to the shore, bring the guys, get some, good old seafood or some shore food, and we come up here in the city and play, because it's about exposing our young men to different opportunities, and I'm sure some of the young men in the city need to get out into the country and just see a different type of living, and just because it's a lot, we want these young men to not feel like they're surviving, that they're thriving, and those are opportunities that we want to expose, educate them, and kind of give them another outlook. Let's exchange, messages. We can beat each other up on the court, but afterwards, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how we can help each other. He may know somebody I don't. I got a lot of connections at the college level, so maybe I may, reach out to one of my friends and be like, hey, I seen a guy I played against. But those are opportunities I want to be able to foster and continue those.
Yes.
And I appreciate that, and that's what it's all about. You want to make sure, and what we always do, especially in Baltimore City, like Coach said, if a college coach called me and say, Coach, I'm recruiting. If I don't have anyone for him, I might say, well, I know this guard that play at Lake Clifton. I know a forward that play down Dunbar. Our job as coaches is we want to give all these kids opportunities to go to college. And it's funny that you said the thing about coming down to Eastern Shore. We play in the Wacomico and the Governor's Challenge every year. It's just this year we didn't go because they asked us to come up to go to Niagara Falls. So we went to Niagara Falls. I took the kids up to Niagara Falls, and we played in a tournament up there for 3 days. But one of the things about, like I said, being in the city, they're not used to traveling a lot. So every year I made sure we took them down to the Wacomico Center down the Eastern Shore, played in the Governor's Challenge and stuff like that. Because some of the kids, let's just keep it honest, they don't go outside of their little box. So we try to keep them diverse, try to keep them to see a different life. And even when we get them to go away to college, a lot of them don't want to come home because they get that experience of being away. So, Coach, whenever you want us to come down, it's kind of hard for us to play each other because we got to see each other in the state playoffs. But any type of tournaments or anything like that you having, we can come down there, and I'm always welcome for you to come up here and play as well.
Appreciate it. I'm definitely going to get your number after this so we can exchange numbers.
All right, so I have something I call the flash game, all right?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to ask the question, and then you two answer. MJ or Kobe?
MJ.
Santorini or South Africa?
South Africa.
23s or Forces?
Forces.
I'm a Forces guy.
Okay. A tomahawk or lobster?
Lobster.
I never had either, so.
Okay. Hot tub or sauna?
Sauna.
Skydive or scuba dive?
Scuba.
Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark?
Angel Reese.
That's a tough one. I had to go Angel Reese.
You better.
She's a hometown
I
girl.
know.
I got to go to hometown no matter what.
And the last one is Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Coke.
All right. And that's it for us for today.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you.